Hey there, how we doing? This is just going to be a quick team breakdown for IDL Season 2. This is going to be a low tier season and select Terra Captains. So this is just a quick team breakdown. I didn't get graphics done in time once again, and I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to make this a quick video, get in and out, and call it good. So first up we got Rockcore the Hydrapple. We are going to be running the Regenerator option most weeks, if not every week. And then my second pick was Pablo the Slowking, another Regenerator mon. My goal coming into this draft was Hydrapple and then Blastoise, but a certain Zachmander kind of talked me out of the Blastoise and said you should probably give Slowking a shot. So I am. It's going to be one of my special defensive walls, as well as in general going to see a lot of max HP, some special attack, but this mon is going to be mainly used for its shieldly reception games, as well as feature sites, occasionally a nasty plotter, maybe a calm mind, but that's not what this is going to be used for. A lot of T-waves. This is just a really good secondary mon, and then Hydrapple is going to be one of the main mons on my team. Fickle Beam is always nice, as well as Draco Meteor. Past that, nasty plot coverage is always cool. It gets recover. Some Sucker Punch, I can't see me using it too often, but it could come in handy with that 80 attack. But Giga Drain, Fickle Beam, Nasty Plot, Recover, those are going to be moves you'll probably see me bring fairly often. As well as maybe a Body Press set, because it does have base 110 HP, or I'm sorry, defense, which is super nice. And may I add, neither of these mons can Terra. There's going to be my main defensive pieces, and then they both have pretty high special attack, so they're going to be able to do what they do. They're not going to be mons that will just be pushed over. Slowking's probably always going to have Surfer, maybe Hydro Pump, probably not Hydro Pump, but one very good water move, and then Pablo's going to have its Dragon type move and its Grass type move essentially every week. Energy Power, or I'm sorry, Earth Power is also a great move, great coverage for it. And yeah, it's going to be kind of the defensive backbone of this team, as well as Rooster the Moltres. I knew coming into this draft that Rooster is going to be my third round pick the entire time. It's one that I wanted. It's going to be a defensive piece for me. Also base 125 HP, or special attack, which is super nice, something that this team did need. Was very good special attackers, because they did have a good idea of what my Terra Captain was going to be. But yeah, this is going to be very likely some sort of Will-O-Wisp, U-turn, Flamethrower, and then insert whatever flying type move. You'll probably see me bring Roost a bit if I am not running Willow, and then Hurricane or Air Slash or something like that. So yeah, this mon is genuinely just going to be kind of another defensive piece. This is the most defensive roster I've ever built up to this point, and I'm excited to see how it goes. And then the Terra Captain, I knew I wanted Hibachi the Gallade. This mon can Terra into whatever I want it to be. It is an open Terra game. It is going to be sharpness most week, because 1.5 power on slicing moves such as Aqua Cutter. It's going to get Leaf Blade, Poison Jab, Psycho Cut, Sacred Sword, and there's one more, I believe, that I'm missing, but it does get quite a bit of moves that get boosted by that. It also, of course, gets Close Combat, Debond. Going to be fun to mess around with. Knockoff is going to be coming to a lot of games. And then as Shadow Sneak, which is just priority on a team that's kind of lacking priority. I can see Shadow Sneak coming not often, but it's an option. So this is going to be my breaker this season. It has options like Swords Dance to raise that attack. I believe it gets agility. It does get agility. And this base 125 plus sharpness, it is going to be very, very hard for my opponents to break it. And then with my next pick, I needed a pure rapid spin Pokemon. That is all this mon is for me. It's a speed tier, it's a rapid spin, and it's a Terra Captain. So welcome in Dandruff the Cryogonal, and its Flakes. So Haze is a good part of it. It gets Recover. It gets What was the other move? It gets Freeze Dry, of course, which is going to be a move that I bring on it essentially every week. It also gets Reflect. So that's kind of gonna be its usage. It is another base 105 speed mon, so it's up there. Up to this point in the draft, it is my highest speed Pokemon. It gets Levitate. That combined with the Terra can make it pretty nice. And then in general, I mean, look at that special defense. It's going to be a wall for me, as well as a speed tier. And then it's just an ultimate kind of backup wall, as well as a backup, kind of option to break down those setup mons that are going to come against my team. Because up to this point, my team is very slow, so having a Haze, Recover, Rapid Spin mon, as well as being able to Terra any type I want it to be, super appealing. Then we got Connect the Magnezone. I did get sniped before this pick. I did want something quite a bit faster, but that base 130 special attack speaks for itself. This mon Volt Switch is going to be coming often, as well as T-Volt. It does not have the best moveset. It's going to see Flash Cannon, and then insert fourth move here. Could be Tri Attack if they don't have a Ghost type. Heavy Slam is a solid move for this mon. Body Press is a good move because it has base 115 defense, but also gets Reflect. And look, this mon has a clear role in my team. It is going to be a special attacker, just a pure special attacker. My team doesn't have too many pure special attackers. The Moltres is going to have HP and defense investments a lot of week. The Hydrapple is also going to have HP and some sort of defensive investments, and then the Pablo is only base 100. So the role is pretty clear for this mon. It's going to be one of my secondary breakers, and then also it does have defensive options. The HP is kind of low, but if you max this out and need to max this out, it's pretty formidable defenses, and it can definitely get the job done if need be. Next we got Jules. So up to this point, I didn't pick a fairy type. I wanted a couple other ones that got taken right before me. Once again, the late game of this draft was not the kindest to me, but I did end up going with Jules just because with the Regenerator Core, you kind of got to win that hazard battle. So I figured might as well go get one of the best hazard setters there are. This mon is going to be a really annoying Stealth Rock and Spikes Pokemon, and then it does have formidable attack and special attack, so I'll be able to pick what it is each week and be able to at least get some damage off. But once again, the role for this Pokemon is clear. It is going to be my Spikes Stealth Rocker enthusiast, and it may not come to every week, but it is a great defensive piece for whenever it does come. I wish the HP was higher on this mon. Admittedly, it is not as high as I tend to prefer my defensive pieces to be, but that's alright. I'll make it work out. And everyone knows what this mon does. It isn't anything insane. It is going to have a bunch of stuff, a bunch of Trick Room options, because I do have a fairly slow team up to this point. The Connect, the Hibachi, not the Hibachi, I'm sorry, the Pablo and the Rock Core, they are all going to be able to take advantage of Trick Room, and this is one of the better users in the format. So I'm excited to see how that one goes. And then we got our fastest Pokemon, 110, is going to be the Tauros, or Get the Horns. You mess with the boy, you get the horns. So it's going to be Sheer Force a lot of the time, just Body Slam, CC, whatever Earth move you would like. I tend to prefer Earthquake, and then insert fourth move here. This mon is here to do damage. It's going to be a lot of near max speed, max attack, plus HP. This is going to be a standard set you're going to see of me coming, and I am super excited for this mon. I've never used it before, given it's a Gen 1 Pokemon. But in this low tier, it's going to have so many options. It can be Life Orb, it can be Banded, it can be Scarfed, and it kind of thrives in all of those roles. And then that base 70 special defense, I could see it being Assault Vested at times, because Normal is a pretty good type defensively, so just being able to kind of mess around with it. And if I do want to bring it defensively, then I can bring the Intimidate, and yeah, it becomes a much better Pokemon in that case. And then I got 2 picks left. I got Flyboy the Gligar. Once again, I did say earlier that taking advantage of the hazards is going to be big for this season, so I did also invest heavily in another Pokemon in which will help me out with that. So it gets all of these great hazard moves, as well as immunity is super nice. It cannot be poisoned, meaning it's a good switch in whenever my opponents have toxic spam, because it will happen at some point. Also has taunt. U-turn is probably going to come a lot. I can't see myself bringing all of these 3 moves, but to any given week. But the U-turn is probably going to be coming, and then it is going to be an Eviolite Pokemon. That's all it is. It can't come with anything other than Eviolite. But whenever you do give the Eviolite, its defenses become quite good, actually. Not amazing, but if you were to do something like this, I don't know, this is just off the top of my head, it becomes a pretty good defensive Pokemon, because it's times 1.5, so that 250 becomes 375. That's a pretty good defense stat. So this mon's just going to be one of those secondary mons that I'm able to use, and kind of that secondary hazard mon similar to Jules, but Jules is probably better, so I could see Jules coming quite a bit more. And then with my last pick, I got another Terra Captain, and this Terra Ariados, and Sticky Web is the only reason I drafted this mon. I can't see this mon coming too often. It is also a ground and poison type, which my team didn't have up to this point, so I wouldn't say it exactly stops my opponents from bringing the toxic spikes, but it does help in the sense that my opponents will see a poison type on the type chart. This mon is not amazing. This mon doesn't come to a lot of games. It's very situational. It maybe comes to one or two games the entire season, which is fine by me. It's going to be kind of the mascot for this season, and yeah, I'm excited for it. Just a little. Here are all of the points of the mons that I took. And I am the Seattle Leaf Storm this season. I had a super cool logo made, and I'm excited to go. And then a little PSA, I am actually going to be editing my videos this season. We're going to be cutting out the downtime. On average, I want my videos to be at longest 20 minutes. So the goal is going to be cutting out all of that dead air time. So if I'm calcing or my opponent is calcing, that's going to be cut out. If you've watched some people in my space similar to me, such as I Am Destroyer, I'm going to be kind of taking inspiration from him and cutting my videos up, making them shorter. I don't want to be uploading 50-minute videos anymore. It doesn't help me. It isn't good to watch. Also, OG Albina has been doing this recently, and that's something that I like. They're people that I like watching, and they've kind of inspired me to take on a different editing take to this season. So we'll see how that goes, and I'm excited for it. Next week is week 1, and I believe we are playing the coach right next to us on the dock. It is Nick Erotic, and I'm ready to get going. So peace out, guys. I will see you whenever week 1 is up.